Palm Beach Currumbin to kick off, and we are underway here at Cougar Eye Oval. And Keebra to bring it back. First hit up here of the match, and David Wright, well, the history between these two schools. Talk us through some of the names who have represented both these schools. You think of Keebra, the first name that comes to mind is Benji Marshall, but plenty of stars running around for both these clubs. Palm Beach Currumbin, the list goes on.
Yep.
So, I mean, we're talking some of the best and historically the most successful schoolboy teams in rugby league history in Australia.
The rivalry, I think, Drew, is second to none, both down there on the Gold Coast. Here's Keebra now getting a clearing kick away. But you're right, some of the players, from both these schools, they've been created over time. A couple of players there. When you have a look at it, Drew, even in the State of Origin this year, Payne Haas was Keebra, David Fafita, Reece Walsh and Jai Arrow. That's not a bad quartet just in State of Origin this year. They've had a lot of other players as well. So they're very powerful. You know, there's a lot of Titans that are former Keebra players. Brimson, Kane Pereira, Tanner Bort, all those. But Palm Beach Currumbin, what a reputation or record they have got. They have won 12 Queensland Schoolboy Championships and 3 national titles. So there's not many sides that can claim that sort of level of success. They've had plenty of players also who've gone on to play NRL. And none the least recently, Cody Walker, Jerome Hughes. So both these sides steeped in rugby league tradition. I think we're going to have a terrific game here in the fourth quarter final today. I think this will be the closest game we've had. It is the fourth side up against the fifth. So Palm Beach Currumbin finished fourth, Keebra fifth. So I think it'll be a very, very closely fought tussle, and we're going to see some good footy.
Yeah, a fixture that never disappoints. Palm Beach Currumbin in, as you say, David finishing fourth, Keebra in fifth. The Palm Beach Currumbin coach again this season, Tim McCann, and Keebra coached again by Peter Norman. A penalty going the way of Keebra Park. And referee for this one, Izzy Davidson.
A flopping action by one of the Palm Beach Currumbin defenders coming in late to delay the tackle. Well, let's just see what Keebra can do with a little bit of attack ball. Breeze favouring Palm Beach Currumbin. As you can see, this ground runs east-west. The sun obviously behind Keebra at the moment, straight in the faces of Palm Beach Currumbin. High kicks can be very difficult when looking back from right to left.
So Keebra into Palm Beach Currumbin territory on that occasion. That was Jack Schmidt, I believe. And a nice start to this set. Keebra working it towards the 10-metre line. And some real direct footy at the moment. Palm Beach Currumbin on the back foot. Keebra looking for first points. Watch for Mason Barber, the number one. They go themselves here, Keebra. Izzy Davidson points to the spot. Keebra have the opener. And that was a super impressive set, David Wright. Keebra, they just kept marching forward every single play. And as soon as the opportunity was there, they took it with two hands.
They did, and the run out of dummy half, Palm Beach Currumbin not tight enough around that play the ball. And you don't have to run 80 metres to get 4 points. Just 8 centimetres will do it. Well, dummy half may have been the number 9 who got across. But that's exactly what Keebra Park were after, a flying start. They got a penalty, went on the attack. Looked pretty dangerous in their build-up. And then when you get close, good quick play the ball. You spot an opening there, it's hard to contest. And there's Palm Beach Currumbin back in a huddle. The trainers sharing instructions, I'm sure, from Coach Tim McCann. Okay, we've prepared well for this. That's just one try along the way. Settle down, get back to doing what we always intended. Let's see if Williams here can convert. Kickers on the day here have had some difficulty, but this shouldn't be a problem for Williams and should get Keebra Park off to a flying start.
Yeah, Ryder Williams, the number 7, he summed that up beautifully. Started it right, curled it in, 6-0 Keebra lead, just on Ryder Williams. He's contracted to the Gold Coast Titans, the halfback. He begins full-time training with the Titans at the end of 2023. And his father's actually Jason Williams, who played NRL for both the Cronulla Sutherland Sharks and the Canberra Raiders. Of course, the Titans, they have links to both these famous schools in Keebra Park and Palm Beach Currumbin. And even Tom Weaver, for example, he had a highly successful career with Palm Beach Currumbin, and he's on the brink of running around in first grade for the Gold Coast Titans. And a lot of them now applying their trade at either Host Plus Cup level, NRL level, not only with the Titans but with other clubs as well. Pretty sure Jamal Fogarty came through Palm Beach Currumbin, was it? I mean, the list goes on. Plenty of names. Jordan Rapiner might be another one as well.
Yeah, they've been right up there for a long time. As I say, they've been highly successful.
Jareen Buller at the Tigers at fullback, Keebra Park.
And he is a good player. I really like him. Put him into a better side and he'd be one of the best fullbacks around. Well, he is already.
You mentioned Khan Pereira. He also came through Keebra as well. Kano Kenny at Palm Beach Currumbin. Josiah Pahulu, the famous Ipswich skipper. I want to mention him because he's one with a bright future as well. Not from any of these schools, but one to watch there. Josiah Pahulu, the Ipswich captain last season. For now, it's Keebra 6, Palm Beach Currumbin 0. Of course, this is a quarter-final, the winner to advance to the semi-finals. And as we mentioned, the Titans, these are both schools within that Gold Coast Titans catchment. Gee, they've been having a rough time of it lately, the Gold Coast Titans. What an up-and-down season they've had. Finding it hard to win a game at the moment. Some controversial calls too, not only in the back end of games when the game's there to be won, but even Wiki Fotuaika being sent off last weekend for the Titans, David Wright. And if that's a send-off, well, in terms of consistency, I reckon it means that you've got to send off every player that accidentally makes contact with the head.
Yeah, well, a large amount of the... I mean, you've got to protect the head, there's no doubt about it, but then there's got to be consistent ruling that goes with it. And
there are accidents that happen in a contact sport.
Yeah. I think the key here is the bunker does get a chance to have a look at these, and what appears to be the inconsistency shouldn't exist. They get a good chance to have a look at it. It's one thing for a referee, something happening really quickly, but he's not making the decision, the bunker is. So I think that's where things are falling down. It seems to be a bit of a lottery on who goes and who doesn't. But I find it interesting, Drew, they say...
Can I just jump in? Yep. I'll tell you why it's a lottery, David, because there's a different person sitting in the bunker every game.
Yeah, well, that's what it comes down to, is opinion, isn't it? But you've got to have guidelines to say this is what constitutes...
Why can't we have the same person in the bunker every game?
Even then, I don't know you're going to get the same... And I don't think you could do that over 8 games over the weekend either.
Why couldn't you? I don't understand.
That'd be as hard as calling 4 games in a row, Drew, wouldn't it?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Sorry, mate. What we're going to say is we see an error here.
Well, I just think that, they've got to make sure they protect the head. That's the key, I think. And there's some suggestion.
Absolutely.
We've got a player down injured at the moment. There is some suggestion that there is a clamp down. Well, the NRL are never going to agree with that because they would think they are protecting the head at all times. You don't lift the bar to do that. So they're saying it's the players that have changed. So I think they've overall done a good job in trying to minimise head contact. Albeit, mate, I think one of the biggest things around the head injuries these days comes about through the upright tackle. Now, in our day, you were taught to bend your back, hit with the shoulder in the midriff and knock the guy over. Now they come in high. So you can watch any tackle and all the heads are within, 3 or 4 heads can be within a cubic metre, just a small area. You're going to get, that's why you're getting all the friendly fire. That's the problem. There's just too many upright tackles and they're inherently dangerous. There's going to be accidents and bumps happen all the time there, and we don't want that. We've got to get back to safe tackling techniques, and I think that's part of it.
Yep, absolutely. And all we want to see is some consistency. We understand that the game is trying to protect the head, and we're all for that. That's of paramount importance, but we just want to see some consistency. And I just think by having the same person in the bunker each time, you're going to eliminate and increase your chances of consistency and eliminate the risk of inconsistencies.
I think they've even got multiple people discussing in the bunker. So there's a lot of, I think, there's a lot in the decision process.
Why can't we have someone full time? You got 4 games over a week, 4 days over a round, a 5-day week. They have their 4 days, and then they have a review day, and that's a full-time person 5-day week. They're just opening themselves up for different interpretations every time they're playing musical chairs in a role that has such a significant influence on the outcome of a game.
Yeah, I think if you've got a process that says this is what constitutes a send-off offence, then different people should be able to interpret it similarly. There shouldn't be major changes in decisions just because two different people are doing it. I think it can work. You've got to get your processes right.
The kick from Keebra, deep, taken a bit of time there by Jake Lateo, the Palm Beach Currumbin #1, and Palm Beach Currumbin still looking for their first points. 11 minutes gone in this Allan Langer Trophy quarter-final. 6-0 Keebra Park leading Palm Beach Currumbin. Both these sides based on the Gold Coast. Palm Beach Currumbin, they are running with a slight breeze advantage in this first half. They just look to direct traffic towards the middle of the park for now. Palm Beach Currumbin. Last tackle, 27 metres away from the Keebra try line. Kick from the 5'8", that was Bailey McConnell, and this will be tricky for Keebra to deal with. They haven't picked it up cleanly. It was Tarawa Herlihi, the winger from Keebra, found himself in a sticky situation. They're going to get a repeat set here, Palm Beach Currumbin.
Yeah, well, they didn't take it on the full. That was the problem that Keebra had. They had players back there. It looked like it was Barber, and he didn't go for the ball, bounced awkwardly, and they were lucky they didn't concede a try, Keebra. Good high kick it was by McConnell, well placed. I thought Barber had plenty of time to get under it. And this is a great chance here for Palm Beach Currumbin. As we've said many a time, this is the best platform to attack from, especially if you've got a favourite play. It's one-on-one footy. You don't get that in rugby league very often these days. It's often 3 and 4 against one player, especially rucking it out. This here is one-on-one. If you're better than your opponent, you should be able to burn him off. Just takes a little bit of deception as well, rather than individual brilliance. Here's the extra player coming in.
Yes, it was Lateo, and then early ball out to Kelly Donovan. Credence Kelly Donovan going close.
Good cover there to get right across Keebra Park, but it's not over yet.
Certainly isn't. Bailey McConnell. Then the pass from Zane Harrison, the halfback. Over the top in the tackle defensively, Zach Kumbamong for Keebra. Brady Turner as they go now wider. Strong tackle again. Bruising defence from Keebra Park, making a statement. Desperate to hold on to their lead. There's Palm Beach Currumbin. Just some one-out stuff there. William Saunders directing traffic on that outer side. Played there by Zane Harrison, who had to go himself. Now a little kick in behind by McConnell. And well done, Kelly Donovan. Scores, came in off his wing. Chased the ball down. Wanted it more than anyone else. As referee Izzy Davidson, is she going to award the try here? Or yes, she is. So try awarded. It goes to Credence Kelly Donovan as Palm Beach Currumbin hit back. And it's 6-4 with a kick to come. Keebra over Palm Beach.
Well, it was an interesting set of 6 there off the base of the scrum there by Palm Beach. They threw everything at Keebra. Their defence was excellent up until that last play. Palm Beach Currumbin had to resort to the kick, and it was beautifully executed. McConnell angling slightly across the defenders, got the gap in behind there, and Donovan flashes through. Again, he would know that it was going to be on, and it comes back. I've said it a few times today, and we've watched, this is the 4th quarter final we've done. Those little kick tries, they're not easy, but they're simple. It takes a lot of skill to drop the ball on the foot there, to get it to bounce, to get it to pop up, Some good timing as well with the support runner. No one can tackle you while that execution is on. That's the reason it's easy in a lot of ways. Or it's not, I should say it's simple. But well done there by Palm Beach Currumbin to hit back with their opportunity down this end of the park and did it skillfully.
So just got a player getting some treatment here and poised to take the conversion is Palm Beach Currumbin Zane Harrison. Just while we've got a bit of time, David, your thoughts on the current standoff between the NRL and the Rugby League Players Association and the players?
Well, I think the frustrating thing for everyone there, Drew, is it's just taken so long. I understand there's a fair bit that's already in place. There's a lot of agreement. The dollars are in effect agreed. But there are some big ticket items that the players aren't happy with. And, well, they need to stand their ground. That's what they've done. But I understand they're about to have maybe even today or tomorrow, finally, they're going to sit around the table. I think Volandis is going to be involved as well. And there is an expectation they will get this resolved once and for all because no one benefits from the situation we've had over the last few weeks. Well, let's just hope that they can get it sorted. There are some important issues, as I understand. I'm not fully across it all, even though the media tends to paint it as the players aren't doing the right thing. I think they fully believe in what they're trying to achieve, obviously. Now let's sit down and nut it out. Bit of negotiation, bit of give and take, and let's get on with playing footy.
Are you confident of a resolution?
Well, mate, they've got to. I think, but again, unless you're across what are the, let's say there's 10 big issues still to be resolved, not knowing the stumbling blocks. If there's a will, Drew, in any of those things, you can have these standoffs, but if there's a will from both parties to get it sorted, then you concede a bit here and there, and that's how you get resolution. If anyone is standing back stubbornly and saying, nah, we're not doing this, we're not doing that, we're not doing any of it, then you're going to have problems. I think they'll get it sorted.
All right, words of wisdom there from the man known as the most intelligent rugby league prop forward, and David Wright, 1974 Challenge Cup winner with the Warrington Wolves over the Featherston Rovers, and 75 Australian Kangaroo.
Maybe the most intelligent front row. That's a bit of an oxymoron, isn't it? All good. Let's see how Palm Beach Currumbin now can come back with it. They failed to convert, so we've got 6-4. But they're making good territory up the ground. Both sides are sweeping from one end of the park to the other as expected. They both got some good attacking players, but also I think their teamwork's good.
And Palm Beach Currumbin on the last as they go high through Jake Lateo. And just quickly, David, if you played in the modern day rugby league, what position do you think you'd be playing? You still think you'd be a front rower?
Reluctantly, I would be. I used to like second row more so than front row, but in those days we played it different. It was all, all the forwards were in the middle of the ruck. We chased the ruck around everywhere. There wasn't left and right centres in our day. There was inside centre and out. So the game was quite different. And the other thing about the game, as we, back in the Johnny Raper era, for instance, the lock forward cover defended behind the line just about all the time. So he had to be fast. So there was the skill set based on where you positioned yourself was different in those days. Edge back rowers, you almost got to be like a centre. The edge back rowers have got to have the skill set of a centre. So the game is different. I think if I was playing these days, I'd enjoy, again, that front row first receiver position.
All right, and of course, Keebra leading Palm Beach Currumbin 6 points to 4. And the game has changed. Of course, the great Warren Boland, the greatest Warren Boland, successful Western Suburbs Magpies skipper from the wing. David, he's a fellow co-commentator. Remarkable you two didn't play against each other. He just missed your career, I hear.
Mate, he did. A little bit younger than me, but, mate, the thing is, now Warren doesn't watch these programs, does he? He won't hear any of this if I'm any critical of...
Let's hope not.
Here we go, picked up here by Palm Beach Currumbin.
Yes, Kelly Donovan it was who scored the opener for Palm Beach Currumbin. 6-4 the margin, only 2. Final 10 minutes of the first half. Of course, this is the quarter-final of the Alan Langer Trophy. The winner of this set to join the defending champs Ipswich, Marsden, also Wavell in the semi-finals to be played, and of course some of the biggest names getting through. We thought Maple Park might be there as well, David, having such the wonderful season and successful season, qualifying second that they had, but certainly disappointing effort from them today. Wavell turning it on in the big games.
Yeah, huge upset for Wavell, although they hadn't won a lot of games, Wavell, but they have been threatening most of the time. Little grubber kick as well, that's been knocked on. I don't think it bounced off just the body. Knock on there by Kebra. As Palm Beach Currumbin again tried the little kick through the line. Player down, so we'll have a bit of a stoppage.
And just while we're talking on all things NRL, we've got to ask you about the Payne Haas contract situation. The Broncos have upped their offer. So they've certainly presented a very attractive contract offer to Payne Haas. Word is that it's not so much other rugby league clubs that are vying for his signature. The big threat is rugby union. Do you think Payne Haas will stay in our game, David?
Well, I hope he does. Rugby union is no doubt a threat. They obviously got Sualihi, the young kid that's with the Roosters at the moment. I think rugby union strategy is to get at least 6 NRL players. That would be, I think, and this is just me sitting back from very much afar, but if rugby union in Australia want to lift their game, and I don't want to give them any tips, I'm sure they'll all over this, they will try and get as many.
Hold the phone, David, because Palm Beach Currumbin from the restart, Sam Stevenson making it look easy. Stevenson finishing an impressive play from Palm Beach Currumbin as they edge their noses in front, 8 points to 6, conversion coming up.
Well, keeper caught a little bit of sleep there. That was a pretty simple play there by Stevenson as he cut across the back of the ruck and then just went toward the first defender, cut away and kept going. So that was pretty impressive. It just shows you the danger in particularly the Palm Beach Currumbin side and keeper for that matter. If you're going to hold off a little bit, you're going to pay the price. So Palm Beach Currumbin in for their second try. They'll be pretty keen to convert this one and establish their lead. But coming back, I think the Union will look to get a number of NRL players to try and bolster their position ahead of some of the big years they've got coming up. Payne Haas, there's something you would think under normal circumstances, a very good offer from the Bronx. They've got a star-studded outfit, the Broncos. They're well in contention for finals this year, and you think they've got a window over the next. So it should tick all the boxes, but there's something amiss there. The other variable has been suggested has been Sonny Bill Williams, but something just doesn't sit right for me that Payne Haas hasn't accepted what appears to be a very good offer by one of the top clubs, his top club.
There's Zane Harrison. He plays for the Tweed Seagulls in the Mount Meninga Cup. Another Titans contracted player. 10-6 the score as Harrison converts as Palm Beach Currumbin have their first lead of the afternoon. Let's just go through a number of these NRL contracted players from both sides. And from Palm Beach Currumbin, Sonny Karma on the wing, Sam Stevenson who just scored, Zane Harrison. They're all Titans contracted, as is Jack Finnegan, the 12. Then you've got Jet Jackson, the number 10, signed with the Manly Seagulls, Will Saunders with the Sharks. So that's almost half their team. A number of players, or majority of them, playing in the Mount Meninga Cup. And even Keebra, David, just the talent on offer here today. They've got a number of Titans contracted players as well. Zach Kumbamong, also Jack Schmidt as well, the 2 front rowers. And a lot of these boys have got Joseph Tapusi, the 3, contracted to the Broncos. A lot of these players, Tyler Withington, the 13, of the Raiders, and Roddy, a lot of these players would know each other at Mount Meninga Cup level. In fact, a lot of them are teammates. A lot of these players playing for the Tweed Seagulls Mount Meninga Cup side.
Yeah, there's certainly a lot of crossover in that area. But look, I just think that this shows how good the pathways are working. I think the fact that you've got the Mount Meninga, so you've got club football with good pathways for the kids. The kids can also do some very good development within the school system, which is what we're seeing here. And then they all get chances, some of them keen to continue their careers in rugby league. they get chances to get contracted out to the NRL clubs. So I think the whole idea is to have pathways to create opportunities, and I think the system is working well. And with expansion, Drury, they're going to need to, because you've got to keep a production line coming.
Palm Beach Currumbin, Ethan Schultz. We're going to come back to expansion as we ask you more questions about the state of our great game. David Wright, great to have your intellect in the commentary box. Here is Donald for Palm Beach Currumbin. And yes, I am talking about a front rower, ladies and gentlemen. Little kick in behind. Trouble here for Keebra. He's going to beat them all. They were patient enough, Keebra Park. He'll come out to the 20 for a 7-tackle set. Just on expansion, where do you think the 18th NRL club should come from? Who deserves the licence, David?
Well, I think the most likely outcome that I sort of read about at the moment is the Pacifica licence, funded by government, or largely funded by government, to improve our relationships with the Southeast Asian countries. So there's some big politics involved there, and some really good work that can be done. So I think that's, and there's a lot of funding being offered as well. So from what I can understand, that's a very strong possibility. And then, there's strong talk also that they'll build. So that'll be the 18th licence, and then they'll build to 20 over the next maybe 10 years or so. Here's Keebra Park.
Oh, brilliant run there, and had the fullback to beat. Jake Lateo did just enough. The fullback.
In the bin.
And we've got a sin bin here against Palm Beach Currumbin.
It was a desperate tackle. The break was made.
Might be Ethan Schultz who's heading to the bin, righty. I'm not too sure.
Players trying to defend their teammate, but he was in. He was certainly under pressure to make the tackle, and so.
Bottom right of screen is Ethan Schultz leaving the field, righty. I believe that is the player
yes,
that's been sent to the sin bin from Palm Beach Currumbin.
I think you're right, and that will tip the scales in favour of Keebra Park now. Good chance. They haven't had a lot of ball recently, and they've already shown us when they've got it, they're dangerous. Well, they're now against a 12-man defensive line.
Watch for the 13, Taylor Withington, here in this set for Keebra. Class act. And they're over. Keebra Park claiming the try. Didn't take them very long. Isaiah Fagalilo, the hooker, comes up with a try to level the scores. 10 points all. Couple of minutes to go in the first half.
Yeah, second try at a dummy half, and Fagalilo dashes out of there, does well to score it. Again, once you're down to 12 men, the gaps can appear anywhere. They're not necessarily perched out on the edges, and there was just enough room from dummy half. As I said earlier, the dummy half try is very hard to stop given the right circumstance. Defence is somewhat sparse in that area. It almost invites and makes it very, very difficult not to or to be able to stop a player that's diving toward the try line. Low centre of gravity, a bit of directional stability, lean forward and go hard and low. Very hard to stop. And Keebra, well, they've come up with a converted try soon after the 10-minute sin bin.
Yeah, Ryder Williams adds the extra 2 points, and Keebra looking likely to have a narrow lead at half-time, although still an interesting minute or so coming up. But Keebra, they hit back, they scored the first, and they've scored potentially the last try of the first 30 minutes. 12 points to 10. Just a successful conversion, the difference here. Palm Beach Currumbin not in a lot of hurry to get this restart underway.
They're winding the clock down already.
Who for you, David, has looked the more dangerous of the two sides, or shown the most promise to go on with the job here in this one between the two sides, in your opinion?
I don't think there's a lot between the two sides. They seem to me to be both very dangerous in possession. In other words, either side, if they get more than their share of the ball, I think they'll trouble the opposition. But I thought even before the game, I don't think there's going to be a lot in this. We've done 3 other quarterfinals today, and they've they've ebbed and flowed, and there's been some breakaways. But I can see this subject to the effect of the sin bin. Palm Beach Currumbin will want to hold their line intact for the next 8 minutes or so, because either side is capable of putting on points quickly. Here's the spread.
You've just joined us, Ethan Schultz in the sin bin currently for Palm Beach Currumbin. Keebra have already capitalised with a try since that play's been in the bin. Not long to go here until the half-time hooter. Jake Lateo, was it, out of dummy half there to end the half. 12 points to 10. Keebra Park over Palm Beach Currumbin.
Important to get a good start to this second half, because it's going to play on a knife edge. We've still got one player in the bin from Palm Beach Currumbin, so that'll make a difference for a while.
Very good point. And just a quick question for you. Would you rather have the wind at your back but looking into the sun, or would you rather have neither?
Well, wind at your back, I think, is normally advantageous, providing you use it. The wind has never won a game unless you make good use of it. But this looking into the sun is a distraction. And if Palm Beach Currumbin can put a few high ones up and again, make it difficult to catch the high ball, and that's where it's at that point where it's most effective, then yes, the elements could play a part.
Up over the 40 in this set, Jalen Tawa. Of course, keen to run down as much of this clock as they can. Palm Beach Currumbin down a man. They still trail by 2, mind you. And Mason Barber, who's been quiet for his standards. He's currently contracted to the North Queensland Cowboys. He played fullback for the state-winning South Coast side. And he's only in year 11, the number 1 for Keebra Park, Mason Barber.
Signed with the Cowboys as well, so he's obviously got some potential. As you say, a little bit on the quiet side, and with the man down, it's a good opportunity for the fullback to come into that back line and create an extra man and into space.
Approaching the 50-metre line here, Keebra, with the man advantage, let's not forget. Fifth and last, as signalled by referee Izzy Davidson. Chiming in is the fullback, and rather it was the half. And oh! Touchy had his flag. Gee, there wasn't a lot in that. And that was almost a try to Keebra Park there. Jake Lateo. Talk about a game of inches, David, right?
Yeah, he certainly left it to the last moment. But that's where the wind comes into it as well, Drew. That little grubber kick, the last thing you want it to do is to go dead. So the little bit of breeze behind you, just got to pull back a little bit on those close kicks. Otherwise, you're going to... the last thing you want is to concede a 7-tackle set from there and a man down. This is exactly what you want. You want possession and quick territory. So well done by Palm Beach.
How should they end the set, Palm Beach, with the man down? David, what would you be doing on the last?
Well, you got to get it into the pocket, depending on how far you can. And the pocket being the 10 by 10 in the corner of the field. You trap them in that little corner there, stack in, and hold them from progressing. Now, here's the high kick option too with the sun.
You preferring the grubber into that corner or the high kick?
The high kick now into the sun.
Okay, here it comes, and looks like they've listened to every word you've said, David Wright.
Well taken. So the tactics were spot on. They've got it to the corner. Stack your defence in now, man down.
Yep, some concern from the Palm Beach Currumbin opponent, Sonny Kama, the number 2.
Yeah, did well to take that high ball. And... a couple of players came in to make the tackle. Didn't look to be untoward. But this is the opportunity, Drew. That's what we talk at, and let's hope the young fella's okay. I'm sure he'll be getting the best of attention. You get you put the kick into the pocket, which is what I like to think about, that little 10 by 10 square made up by the corner post and the adjoining lines. And normally they stack their defences in. You can see the length of that defensive line there, the left winger, albeit it's a one-man down defensive line, is defending not much more than the far upright. So the idea here is to come in really tight and condense your defences.
We mentioned some of the notable NRL players to come through both these clubs. For Keebra, they've got 1,000 students, founded in 1973, but Some of the names: AJ Brimson, Alafiana Khan Pereira, Tanner Boyd, Moeki Fodawaika, Cleese Haas, Isaac Liu, Jareem Buller we mentioned, Benji Marshall, Britton Nakora, Connolly Lemuelu, Tamare Martin, Jesse Arthurs, Jackson Paulo, Makaele, who's just signed with Warrington in England, your former club, righty, Corey Norman.
I see Sam Burgess has just taken the coaching job there too.
Well, there you go. I did not know that. Murdoch Masilla, the list goes on in terms of the names. Jordan Kahu for Keebra, and they're celebrating their 50th anniversary in 2023, so congratulations. Over 70 NRL students. Now, what about Palm Beach Currumbin? 3-time National Schoolboys champions, 12 times Queensland Schoolboys champions, the most of any Queensland school, and their past players include the likes of Darius Boyd, Sam Perrott, Ben Hannant, Ryan James, and the great Benny Eichen, as well as current stars Cody Walker, Jerome Hughes, Jordan Rapiner, Tom Dearden, Toby Sexton, and 54 players today. Not a lot separating them in terms of NRL representation, although it's Palm Beach Currumbin with the bigger trophy cabinet.
Yeah, they have, and they've been hugely successful. Palm Beach have done pretty good too, but it's really an indication of just how strong and what a great tradition these schools have, and these players are carrying on that tradition. Looks like we're going to get a change over to Palm Beach Currumbin here, and this is a pretty good opportunity. That's the halfway line, the line on the right hand side there, so they can go on the attack here, Palm Beach Currumbin. It doesn't matter if you've got 12 men and you got the ball, you can still do some damage.
The point being, these are the two biggest schools in Australian, well, Queensland schoolboys history going head-to-head, and a spot in the Unlanger Trophy semi-finals on the line. It doesn't get much bigger than this in schoolboys footy, does it?
Yeah.
Strap yourselves in, folks. Palm Beach Currumbin, they'll soon go back to 13 on 13. Meanwhile, they might not be done with yet, as beautiful work, the pass away from Lateo, finding Jack Finnegan for the corner. The touch, he has his flag in the air. He looks certain to score then, Finnegan.
The build-up was about as good as you could possibly get. The punch through the line, the back-up, and even the pass. I thought Finnegan was going to get there, but so often these days, the number of tries that are scored by rolling players onto their back and obviously toward the touchline in that circumstance, but it looked like Finnegan had been put away. The build-up was terrific. Lateo backed up nicely. Each of the passes was like split-second passing, but good, desperate defence there by Keebra to hang on. That's why this is a knockout final. The team that loses goes home, and as you spoke, Drew, the bragging rights on the coast are massive down there. This is what they're playing to make the semi-finals of the Langer Trophy, but they're also playing to say, well, we beat Keebra this year, we beat Palm Beach Currumbin. So there's a lot on the line here for these players, and that's how they're playing. Look at the desperation here, so close to the touchline.
They are playing for keeps. It's Palm Beach Currumbin and Keebra Park. 12-10, 2-point advantage to Keebra. Scored one try whilst Ethan Schultz was in the sin bin. He's due to come back on the field at any moment now. Whoa. And we should go back to 13 on 13 after this kick for touch has been taken by Keebra Park. However, they will be attacking Keebra.
On report, coming down with the forearm, it looks like in the tackle. This is a very, very important set of 6. I think they're still against 12 men, Duria. The Schultz is not back as yet, so this is their chance to extend their lead.
They're back to 13 on 13 now, David.
All right, well, Keebra will have to do it the hard way, but they're more than capable.
20 metres out, tackles up their sleeve. Keebra Park looking for their biggest lead of the match. Other side play, asking questions of their opponents. They come back towards the centre of the park. Ryder Williams linking up with his forwards. Wasn't the cleanest to play the balls. The referee didn't like it. Referee said not good enough. And that is a waste from Keebra's point of view. Palm Beach Currumbin get around each other, and as we mentioned, we are back to 13 on 13.
Yeah, Palm Beach Currumbin, rightly so, got in there and celebrated. That was a set that they had to defend. They've done extremely well there. And again, obviously well and truly in the balance. You don't want to get it to slip away from you, and therefore that defensive set was so important for Palm Beach Currumbin. They're into the wind, as we've mentioned, so they've still got some hard work to do to get it back up the other end. But they're just as dangerous in attack. If they get a bit of attack ball, they'll work their way out of their own territory and be able to free up the attack. Here's the chance. Izzy Davidson not happy. There's been quite a few penalties in this match, and nonetheless a sin bin as well. So there's a lot of friction. It's the ball hitting the roof, I would think. But let's see now, Palm Beach Currumbin getting up to the 40-metre line in their own half. So this gets them a chance to put some attack ball on, some plays on at the back end of this set of 6. They haven't had too many chances to do that of late, apart from that huge charge toward the try line when they just got knocked in a touch.
Jack Finnegan starting to exert himself in his presence on this football game. Will Saunders with a scamper.
Call for the marker offside, but the ref wasn't interested.
Plays a 21 away. Saunders through the hands now, and here is Donald. Balin Donald going oh so close. Tweed Seagulls Malmaninga Cup player. Back towards Zane Harrison, a little kick in behind. Well read by the keeper defence.
Yeah, well, he was kicking in traffic. When you kick like that, it can't be just a dab in behind and hope for the best. There was quite a few players in that vicinity, and that's just a simple turnover. It could have been a far more precise kick there. Would have maintained the pressure.
Who's got the upper hand at this point, right here, right now in the game, you reckon, David?
Yeah, I don't think there's much in it. Possession will be the key. I think both sides are down. That's been a knock-on by Palm Beach Currumbin. So right here, right now, with possession king, I'd say Keebra a good chance to capitalise. You know, they're a long way from home. Wind at their back, possession. They could get a grip on this game over the next 10 minutes.
You can just see the 5'8", the scrum there. Jack Hudson, he's exactly that, just protecting the sun in the eyes. Jack Hudson, who grew up playing hooker, transitioned to a 5'8" after his strong season at 6 for the Tweed Seagulls Malmaninga Cup side, which is the under-18s competition. 21s, they play Hastings Deering Colts, and then on to Host Plus Cup, and hopefully for their sakes and the players and the families, one day playing in the NRL.
Drew, that's interesting, isn't it, for Jack Hudson? As you said, he was previously a hooker that's gone to 5'8". We get plenty of halves go to hooker these days, but very unusual to come back the other way. So he must show some real talent in terms of his ability to organise out wide.
What do you think's the toughest position to play?
Well, I think the one with the most pressure at the halfback. He's the one who needs to be driving things around the park. You get a good one of those, a lot of things can happen around him.
And the easiest position?
I don't think there's any easy out there, mate. It's a tough game. Some are simple.
Gee, you've let the wingers off lightly there, David, as we see the kick. Oh, was the legs taken out of Ryder Williams as he goes high? Referee says play on. And now they turn defensive to attack Palm Beach Currumbin down the outer touchline. Big run there. And almost all the way up to halfway. The run there by, looks like it might have been Kelly Donovan.
Don't you love the counter-attack? One end of the park to the other. Here they come again. No, he's offside, surely. He was getting back onside, but that's interfering with play. You can appeal as much as you like. You can't be caught in the attack line.
It was Credence Kelly Donovan. Let's give credit to him for that near 50-metre run and then a penalty to compound things and a real momentum shift here. Palm Beach Currumbin, are they going for 2? No.
Way.
I thought they were signalling for 2 for a moment. Back to 13 on 13 with the ball. And they take the tap. And a big set of 6 coming up here, approaching the 15-minute mark of the second half. Palm Beach Currumbin, Zane Harrison on to Lateo. That's Jake Lateo. 20 away here, Palm Beach Currumbin. Attacking the line of Keebra Park State High School. Harrison drifting across and goes himself.
3 dummies. They finally got a hold of him.
Using his decoy runners to his advantage legally. And now Isaac Harrison.
Backs to the wall defence, Keebra.
He's an under-18s Warradale Cup player. Isaac Harrison, the 13. Now Zane Harrison. Oh, beautiful little face ball there to Jack Finnegan. He's a Burleigh Bears Malmaninga Cup player. Most of them play for Tweed. Harrison, little kick in behind. Perhaps a knock on there from Keebra.
Knock back, he's called.
Knock back, says referee Izzy Davidson.
Well, they hung on there nicely, Keebra. Both sides realising that one little slip up now could be the game. We've still got 15 minutes to go, but they are going 1 for 1 here. Ooh, was that shoulder? Shoulder brings about a penalty. The player did slip. I know there's not much defence these days, no matter what happens, and rightly so. It's due a penalty. It was on report, but I would suggest it was accidental. Whereas, as I could see it, little, if any, intent. Man down, and another one getting some attention as well. I see Corey Thompson, mate, also is out there. Used to play for the Titans. He's running. He's the yellow shirt guy out there, and Corey Thompson played with the Titans. Just retired last year. I would love to have had him in the trenches. He'd do a good job on that touch line.
Another penalty. And Corey Thompson is running for which team out there?
For Keebra, mate.
For Keebra, thank you.
Yes, mate.
Keebra
Yes.
Park.
Yes.
So Corey Thompson, he's out there running for Keebra. And what about the Palm Beach Currumbin side? They got Anthony Don out there as a runner, former Titan.
He'd get the ball. He'd get the sponge out there pretty quickly, wouldn't he? What a deceptive player Anthony Don was, and it's so effective as well. Well, this game has swung from one end to the other. Neither side giving an inch, but both sides trying to take a mile.
Oh, that was forward.
It was, and called. Good work from the touchy. Picked it up. Looked like a little dummy back on the left side initially by the dummy half, and then the pass thrown forward. And that is a critical error under those circumstances. Keeper with a terrific chance. I say possession is king. Is in most games, but particularly in this one. I mean, the scores have kept this game a really gripping game. But whoever gets possession looks threatening. Not to say the defence hasn't been strong, but both sides asking questions.
Izzy Davidson, the referee, the touchies. Let's give him a shout out. Taylor Ball and Sam Kalpakidis. And a great call there on that forward pass because it was the right call. So Keebra now, they still lead by 2 points, 12 points to 10, which was the score at half time. 12 minutes remaining in this one.
Some of those touches could get a game at the NRL level, mate, to call forward passes.
Yeah, they're not calling them much at NRL level, are they?
Shocking.
They are certainly not calling them at NRL level as much as they should be. 11 out centre field. Keebra on the attack. Little short ball there at the line. Hudson linking up with Barber. Fifth and last here. Out hooker is Fagalilo. Keebra Park now. They come back towards the middle. Little kicking behind. Knock back from Palm Beach Currumbin. No! Knock on. Knock on the call. Keebra will get it again.
Holding back. It's a penalty. A penalty right in front.
So a penalty, the call.
You've got to keep going for the big numbers. Another 2 points is not what you want here, and I think the boys will go for it. Well, can Palm Beach Currumbin continue? That's one set, a full set of 6. That was the last tackle play. And a penalty for holding back.
Barber fancying his chances, Mason Barber. Close to the line, Fagalilo. Tough one here for Palm Beach Currumbin as Taylor Withington on the angle. Very, very close to the line. Fagalilo And now again they target that right edge defence of Palm Beach Currumbin do Keebra Park. Played there by number 14, that was Dorian Lataki. Back for another season. Coomba Mong. Keebra looking to add to their 2-point advantage. Fagalilo, options either side. Outer side he goes via Mason Barber. Palm Beach Currumbin hanging on. Last tackle. Mason Barber, and they come back for the crossfield kick, 20 out, and a wonderful kick, and Barber in pursuit. The ball comes loose. Palm Beach Currumbin couldn't contain it. And what's the ruling going to be here? Perhaps a knock-on against Palm Beach Currumbin, is it?
Knocked on, and another penalty.
That's a penalty.
So it can only be an interference penalty. What do we got? No. It is going to be a scrum. That's correct decision. A knock on there by Palm Beach Currumbin as they went up for the ball. And another chance by Keebra. This game is on a knife edge. And what a high standard it's been. Keebra now, this is the third set of 6 in a row. It's almost impossible to hold out good sides for that long. Can Palm Beach do it again? Good chance here from the base of the scrum.
Fed by Jack Hudson. And getting more and more involved by the second is Mason Barber. He's going to play a key role, you would think, in the outcome of this one. Tackle there was Joseph Tapuse. And now there's Ryder Williams. And coming in field again, Taylor Withington. Standing out on that edge initially before coming in field. Decoy player in Ostia Masters goes through. As Keebra, they're throwing everything at this Palm Beach Currumbin defensive line. Hudson the 5'8", short side play. And Ryder Williams, the halfback, he was taking a hit up like a front row of Ryder Williams. Went for the try line, did Ryder Williams, and he's lost it.
Well, I think your summation there, Drew, is spot on. What's a little halfback doing a blindside run and trying to take the line on his own? That's not his role. And the defence was strong again. That's a good passage of play there by Palm Beach Currumbin. They had all hands to the pumps. They tackled at least 14 tackles in a row, and they've held their line intact. They're still behind on the scoreboard, but that's as good a passage of play. There was some good attack by Palm Beach Currumbin. A lot of players coming back on that big angle and threatening the line, but Palm Beach Currumbin got their defence in place. This is a high standard game, and well and truly as expected. Two of the best teams in the Langer Trophy, and they're showing why.
Who will stand tall for their team when they need it the most? Who will be cool under pressure? Who will make the mistake? Well, there is a crucial penalty called here against Keebra, going the way of Palm Beach Currumbin.
Looks like a shoulder charge, not using the arm to make the tackle. Is that Fagalilo down, holding the leg? He's been dangerous right throughout. Scored a couple of tries, I think. At least one. Well, this is an important penalty. What have we got? 7 minutes up to full time. Chance for Palm Beach Currumbin. They've been reluctant to kick for touch. The wind is pretty much east-southeasterly, so pretty much behind Keebra Park, and therefore they're going to find touch, but they won't want to be too greedy on it.
Just a reminder, extra time comes into play if required.
Yes, it does, and we go to Golden Point extra time, and then there will be a decision based on a sort of count-back arrangement, most tries, who scores first tries. If we get to that, we'll give you a full rundown on the explicit detail. Palm Beach Currumbin, their best chance for 10 minutes. They've defended their line. Now can Keebra do the same?
That was Jalen Taiwan, the previous player. Now out the back to the centre, three-quarter. A rampaging run by Sam Stevenson.
Beautiful work by the halves to set up that play.
A metre out from the try line. Zane Harrison all the way back they go to Brady Turner.
Shocking pass when dummy half lost all momentum.
10 metres away. Saunders Fires it to the halfback in Harrison. Barber lurking. They go out the back past him to Plogsma. On here to Sonny Kama. Kama spinning out of tackles. Works it in field. Fifth and last. 5.5 minutes to play. Will they look for a repeat? Set Harrison in behind. But Keebra Park, Fagalilo, it might have been Isaiah Fagalilo, who summed that up brilliantly for his team.
Well done by Fagalilo. He was down injured before. He's immediately grabbed his leg when he went down to recover that. But it just shows you he probably hasn't fully recovered from before, but he's still got back there in defence to cover that little grubber kick in behind. The trainer dragging him back to his feet, but he's in a bit of bother.
You can see Corey Thompson out there now, the Brisbane Tiger in the Host Plus Cup. And Fagalilo just being helped. Of course, continuous clock, righty, so this won't help Palm Beach Currumbin's course.
No, it will not. And what a high standard game we've had, though. Neither side has...
There's Anthony Don, I think, too.
It is too, definitely is. A red cap and the blue shirt there. Okay, the aim here for Keebra, obviously, is safety first, get it out of the danger zone, and Palm Beach Currumbin, can they put up a fast-moving defensive line?
Can they force the error, Palm Beach Currumbin, or do you just play set for set with 4 minutes remaining, righty, or do you look for the big play this far out?
No, Keebra Park, you've got to be very steady here. Take the territory, get to the kick. Palm Beach Currumbin, well, they'll just have to weigh up when they get the ball and where. If they're running out of time, and what have we got? Only 4 minutes to go.
Well, it's been a good set defensively. How about the chase there, putting pressure on the kick? Kicking with the breeze keeper, but well taken on the full by Jake Lateo. So Palm Beach Currumbin, they'll start this set 13 short of halfway, and might just get a crack at keeper at the back end of this set. Sonny Kama now up to halfway. 4 tackles up their sleeve. Palm Beach Currumbin, they're trailing by 2. Strap yourselves in, folks. Do not go anywhere. Brady Turner now. The arch rivals going head-to-head for a spot in the Allan Langer Trophy semi-final. Jalen Tawa. Keebra Park backtracking. Time here for Palm Beach Currumbin. This is the play. They'll have a crack, you would think. Harrison onto Balin Donald, who's been sensational. You can't miss him with the red locks flowing. Now for the last, Harrison. And coming through there was Kelly Donovan. Kick didn't go to him. They keep it alive. Kelly Donovan, did it go behind? Play on the call. Kick and chase by Kelly Donovan. Keeper were there, but they're into touch. Gee, that is a big call, righty. Did it go back or did it go forward? Play on the call, and keeper can only take it out into touch. Palm Beach Currumbin will get another crack here.
It's a huge call, Drury, but there's only one person that counts in that circumstance, and that's the referee. Her belief is that it went back as they initially went up, took the ball, popped it back, and then knocked further back. Here is their chance. Well, they'll back themselves here. They'll think they're every chance to score from this situation. Can Keebra do the backs to the wall effort that Palm Beach Currumbin have shown earlier?
And steaming onto it, play number 1. Ethan Schultz. He's well rested after being sin-binned earlier in the game. And now quickly on to Harrison out the back. They've got the overlap. Stevenson in the corner. Credence, Kelly, Donovan. And when his team needed it the most, he has absolutely delivered.
He finished it off, but again, some great work by the halves. The 7 and the 6 have linked together so well. Harrison and McConnell immediately put the pass out there to Stevenson, and then he put Donovan over in the corner. That was as crisp a 4-play or a 4-backline play you could imagine. 4 players involved, Harrison, McConnell, Stevenson and Donovan. That was so sharp, and I commented a little bit earlier on another passing movement that included Harrison and McConnell, and they have done that so well. The split-second timing, the defence was there. It wasn't as if they were running into open spaces, but the passing created the opportunity on the outside. That was as crisp and as sharp as you can see, with 4 backs popping the passes. Harrison, McConnell, Stevenson and Donovan. Watch that try again and just see how each did their job, and it was so crisp and sharp. Anything sluggish on the inside would not have created the opportunity on the outside. And that, well, it's the winning try. You would think Palm Beach Currumbin, 2 points in front, only seconds remaining in the match. He won't be in a referee has blown time off, but I don't think this will stop our clock. Whether it stops the guy hitting the buzzer will remain to be seen, because Keebra, they'll be hoping they get a chance to kick off.
The question is, will they? Because as it stands, Palm Beach Currumbin are on a one-way ticket to the semi-final of the 2023 Allan Langer Trophy.
You should be able to stop the clock in this situation. This is taking excessive amount of time. I'm not saying it's not allowed, but there should be a stoppage of clock at some point under these type of circumstances. This is knockout footy.
So Zane Harrison from the sideline for Palm Beach Currumbin. He strikes it nicely, and it's just short. The question is, will Keebra get another play here? Well, they have to go short regardless.
Got to go for the ball, and really they should give them a little bit of leeway, I think, after an exorbitant amount of time to take that kick. Should give them at least 30 seconds. Geez, you don't want to roll off the tee.
14 points to 12 as they go short. Keebra, it's going to go the 10. Just whose ball is it? Oh, what a take by Sonny Karma. What goes around comes around. And the ball went straight to the bread basket of Karma with a beautiful leap.
He showed great karma, didn't he? Well done there. He was under pressure. There was plenty of attention coming. Well, no use doing that. You're going to concede a penalty.
Played there by Jalen Tawa, Palm Beach Currumbin. Moments away from a semi-final berth and a comeback victory. It's a stirring performance, a stirring victory to Palm Beach Currumbin. Victorious over their arch rivals Keebra Park, 14 points to 12. And what was a closely fought match in the second half, they came up with the only try of the second half, Palm Beach Currumbin, when it mattered most. In the corner, it was Kelly Donovan. And the final score, 14-12, Palm Beach Currumbin. They booked their ticket in the semi-final of the 2023 Allan Langer Trophy.